Have you ever wondered what love really is? Is it that fluttery feeling you get on a first date? Is it the deep connection you share with your family? Or is it something much bigger, something that connects us to the universe itself? It's a question that has puzzled poets, artists, and philosophers for thousands of years. But long before dating apps and rom-coms, a group of ancient Greeks gathered at a party to try and figure it out. And their conversation, written down by the philosopher Plato, became one of the most famous and influential works ever written about love, the Symposium. So grab a drink, get comfy, and let's travel back to ancient Athens. Around 416 BC, we're crashing a symposium, which was basically a fancy dinner party with lots of wine and deep conversation. The host is a tragic poet named Agathon, who just won a major award. To celebrate, he's invited some of the brightest minds in Athens, including the famous philosopher Socrates. After dinner, instead of the usual entertainment, one of the guests, a man named Eros, proposes a challenge. Each person must give a speech, a eulogy in praise of Eros, the god of love. What follows is a fascinating ladder of ideas, with each speech building upon the last, taking us on a journey from the most basic ideas of love to the most profound. The first speaker is a young man named Phaedrus. He gets the ball rolling with a pretty straightforward idea. For Phaedrus, love is all about inspiration and courage. He argues that an army made of lovers would be unbeatable. Imagine it. No soldier would want to look like a coward in front of the person they love. They would fight harder, be braver, and strive to be their best selves. He sees love as a divine force that makes us better people, pushing us towards noble deeds and virtue. It's a nice heroic start to the conversation. Love makes you brave. Simple, powerful, and a great opening act. Next up is Pausanias, who thinks Phaedrus' view is a bit too simple. He says, hold on, there isn't just one kind of love, there are two. He introduces the idea of common love versus heavenly love. Common love, he explains, is purely physical. It's about attraction to the body, it's fleeting, and it's not very deep. It's the kind of love that can be directed at anyone, without much thought. But heavenly love, now that's the good stuff. This love is directed towards the soul and the mind. It's about admiring someone's intelligence, their character, and their virtue. This is a love that inspires a lifelong bond, based on mutual growth and the pursuit of wisdom. So for Pausanias, the goal isn't just to love, but to love in the right way, to seek out that higher, more meaningful connection. After Pausanias, it's the turn of the comic playwright, Aristophanes. And he tells a story that has captivated people for centuries. It's a myth, but it's one of the most powerful metaphors for love ever created. He says that humans weren't always as we are now. Originally, we were powerful creatures with 2 faces, 4 arms, and 4 legs, all joined together in a sphere. We were so strong that the gods, led by Zeus, became afraid of our power. So to weaken us, Zeus threw down his thunderbolts and split each of us in 2. Ever since that day, Aristophanes says, each of us has been wandering the earth, desperately searching for our other half. That deep, yearning feeling of incompleteness we sometimes feel, that's the memory of our original wholeness. And when we finally find that special person, our soulmate, we feel a sense of recognition, a feeling of coming home. Love, for Aristophanes, is the name for this search and the desire to become whole again. It's a beautiful and slightly sad story about our fundamental need for connection. Following this incredible myth, the host Agathon takes the stage. Being a poet, his speech is flowery and beautiful. He describes love not by what it does, but by what it is. For Agathon, Eros, the god of love, is the youngest, most beautiful, most delicate, and most virtuous of all the gods. Love, he says, is gentle. It never uses force. It lives in the soft hearts of people. It's wise, brave, and the source of all creative arts. His speech is a beautiful piece of poetry, a celebration of love's perfect qualities. It's a lovely tribute, but Socrates, who is up next, is about to turn everything on its head. When it's Socrates' turn, he does what Socrates does best. He starts asking questions. He gently cross-examines Agathon, showing that his beautiful speech, while lovely, isn't quite logical. Socrates argues that we desire what we don't have. If love desires beauty, then love itself cannot be beautiful. If love desires good things, then love itself cannot be perfectly good. Instead of being a god, Socrates suggests that love is something in between, a spirit, a daimon, that bridges the gap between mortals and the divine. Socrates then says that he learned everything he knows about love from a wise woman named Diotima of Mantinia. He recounts her teachings, which form the philosophical core of the Symposium. Diotima explains that love is not the desire for a person, but the desire for what that person represents, beauty and goodness. And this desire isn't just about possession. It's about creation. We love because we want to give birth and beauty, to create something that will outlast us. This can be literal having children, or it can be metaphorical creating art, laws, or ideas. It's our way of touching immortality. Diotima then reveals the famous Ladder of Love, a step-by-step guide to understanding the true nature of love. You start at the bottom rung by loving a single beautiful body. It's your first crush, that physical attraction. But then, you realize that the beauty in that one person is related to the beauty in all other bodies. So you climb to the next rung and learn to appreciate physical beauty in general. From there, you realize that the beauty of a person's soul, their mind, their character is far more valuable than the beauty of their body. You climb again, learning to love beautiful souls. Next, you move beyond people and begin to love beautiful activities and institutions, like good laws and systems of knowledge. Your love becomes broader, more intellectual. Finally, after a lifetime of climbing, you reach the top of the ladder. You are granted a sudden, breathtaking vision of beauty itself. Not a beautiful person or a beautiful object, but the pure, eternal, unchanging form of beauty. This is the ultimate goal of love. To have a direct encounter with absolute beauty, which is the source of all beauty in the world. It's a mind-blowing concept, taking us from a simple crush all the way to a mystical, philosophical enlightenment. Just as Socrates finishes his profound speech, the party is literally crashed by a drunk and rowdy Alcibiades, a charismatic and controversial Athenian general. He stumbles in, crowned with ivy, and decides he wants to give a speech too. But instead of praising love, he wants to praise Socrates. His speech is a deeply personal, passionate, and sometimes funny account of his own complicated relationship with Socrates. He describes Socrates as outwardly unattractive, but inwardly divine. He talks about how he tried and failed to seduce Socrates, because Socrates was interested only in the beauty of his soul, not his body. Alcibiades' speech serves as a real-world example of everything Socrates and Diotima were just talking about. Socrates embodies that higher philosophical love. He's a living, breathing demonstration of someone who has climbed the ladder and is focused on the beauty of the soul. And that's where Plato's Symposium ends, with some guests passing out from the wine, others leaving, and Socrates staying up all night, still deep in conversation, proving his own incredible endurance. So what can we take away from this ancient Athenian party? The Symposium doesn't give us one single answer to the question, what is love? Instead, it gives us a spectrum of possibilities. Love can be the courage Phaedrus described, the search for our other half that Aristophanes imagined, or the profound philosophical journey that Socrates and Diotima laid out. It shows us that love is not just one thing. It's a complex, multi-layered experience that can operate on the physical, emotional, and intellectual levels. It can be a force for personal growth, creativity, and ultimately, a way to connect with something true and eternal. Perhaps the greatest lesson from the Symposium is that the conversation about love is never truly over. It's a discussion we are all a part of every day of our lives. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive into one of history's greatest conversations. If you enjoyed this, please hit that like button, subscribe for more philosophical adventures, and let me know in the comments which speech from the Symposium resonated with you the most. See you next time.